Welcome to the Own Your Best Life podcast. I'm May Emson, your host, leadership and mindset coach. Here, we talk all things spiritual, mindset, business, leadership, and wellness for the modern seeker who wants to align their life with purpose and inspiration. We'll cover career changes, stress management, meditation, energy, intuition, and more. Each episode holds spiritual and practical tools to help you live a life of your wildest dreams without getting burnt out along the way. Ready to live a life on your own terms? This is the Own Your Best Life podcast. Welcome, friends, to episode number 250 of the Own Your Best Life podcast. I want you to imagine this. You're on vacation, it is in the middle of the night, and you are lying there wide awake, drafting an email in your head to a manager who is fast asleep. So you did everything right. You bought the second phone, a separation of church and state. You left the laptop at home finally, and you are still there at 2 a.m. writing a message that you will not send in a bed that you paid good money to relax in. So let me say this, because I don't think a productivity hack will tell you this. The problem was never your devices. Having two phones cannot fix a brain that never learned how to stop. Technology is not the fix, and it never was. And what actually is what I'm going to share with you today. So right now I'm training for the Berlin Marathon, and a few years ago, running gave me a pretty brutal IT band injury on my right side, and the cause of that was not just bad luck, it was overtraining. I believe that if I ran more mileage, it meant that I would have better results, and right up until my own knee stopped me cold. And so high achievers also run their careers on that same exact belief. We log these 60-hour plus weeks, we skip the vacations, we wear our exhaustion like a badge of honor, and we are martyrs to our work. And then we start resenting everyone around us for not doing the same. But running on an injured knee doesn't make you tough. It just guarantees the breakdown comes sooner. So this year, I changed my metric. I'm in the peak of marathon training right now while I'm on vacation, and I am only running 3 days a week. The other days are Pilates, strength, yoga, the smaller, unglamorous work that actually keeps me on the road longer. So injury prevention is a new definition of winning. And I'm not talking about pain or a little bit of injury here and there, but the main injuries that we know sideline us the same way that we have these career derailers that sideline us. And I'm recording this from a multi-stop road trip across British Columbia, Canada. And I ran a whole work week life this way that I am running now. So here's exactly how. Here are the 3 rules of career cross training that have really helped me be able to stay focused, sharp, really feeling like I am at the healthiest ever in both my work and in my physical body. So the first rule is this: we are trading volume for intensity. So I did not vanish on this trip. I worked hard for 2-3 hours every morning, roughly 7 to 10, sometimes 6 to 8. And I was supporting my summer intern's final week and recording this episode and the last one. And then I closed the laptop until the next morning. So one hard boundary made those 2-3 hours sharper than most people's 8. And it's not necessarily about the hours, it is about the plan. So there was one evening that it was an evening, and there were other days that it was a morning, but I had a plan and I had a thought ahead of time about when I was going to do it, how I was going to do it, so that it created a level of constraint around the work And the reason constraints matter is because when you have constraints, they breed elite output. The second rule is this: build the muscles that actually hold you up. Overachievers do not actually want to do nothing on vacation. If we are forcing you to just be idle, that will breed a level of anxiety. So, my morning writing and podcasting are not work in the old sense, they are my career cross training, the same way Pilates strengthens these tiny muscles and sometimes big ones that protect a runner. Having something that is yours outside your job title is what protects you from burning out. And oftentimes we have a hard time having those things because our work takes up such a large part of my mind share, your mind share, which is why often when people ask about hours, a lot of times I go back to this thought of what is the mind share that I have on my work? What is the mind share that I have with my family? What is the mind share I have between the corporate work and my coaching work? And that is way more indicative of the kind of output, the kind of results that you will create than the hours themselves. Third rule is this: is to let your team and let your people carry the load. The biggest surprise of the whole trip was how fast my team rose when I held my afternoon boundaries, how able people were to adapt to knowing that I was going to be out. Nothing broke, nothing burned down. Overachievers build teams that depend on them because letting go often feels like a risk. Who's going to answer the question immediately? How are you going to know every single answer to all the things? And that is a true cost of being away. Your team might not know the exact answers that you would know. And stepping back is the only thing that gives people room to lead. And this is not just people that report into you, it could be your manager, it can be your peers as well. When you are never gone, they never know what it feels like to have you not be there. They don't know the value that you bring. They don't know the mental load that you're carrying, the responsiveness that you actually have. And sometimes all of that can start to get taken for granted. And so, in a way, you're not actually trying to leave in order to create this gap, but we do need to let other people understand what it feels like to carry some of that load, even if we do all of the work ahead of time to try to lighten that load when we're not there. If you run on a torn IT band long enough, one day you cannot run at all. And I remember having this thought in my head that I want to be running for a long time. I don't need to run the fastest forever and ever, but I want this to be something that is a lifestyle. I want to be able to just have my body be able to move naturally. And that's the same with work. I don't want work to feel like this massive, heavy pursuit in my life versus something that is just part of what I do and is not necessarily going to be this huge bifurcation between finally I get to rest and be retired one day versus I get to work. And I remember hearing this quote that when you can't see the difference between work and play, then that is the goal. And I want that to be yours as well. How do you make work feel like play? How do you make play feel like a challenge that you want to be a part of on the day to day? Your career is no different than this longevity plan. If your whole identity, your whole self-worth, your energy are wired to your corporate title, you're standing on a foundation that's thinner than you think. You don't need necessarily to have way more hours and log way more time. You need to find a way and find new strategies to keep from breaking. And that's the work that I do with my clients. We're not just chasing output and that next linear goal. We are cross training your mindset. We're building boundaries that you actually hold healthily and want to hold. and you design a high performance life that you can sustain for decades, not just quarters. Think kids, a full personal life, a real career, all of it. And if you're ready to stop overtraining your career, to really start building a career that feels like it is yours to last, let's map out your strategy. You can go to mayemson.com/contact right now to fill out the quick form and book a complimentary strategy call with me. We'll build your injury prevention plan together. And until next time, I'll be out here doing this with you, thinking about how do I run smart? How do we work on purpose? And how do we cross the finish line, the real finish line of life, the one where you reach the end, you find that you actually lived well along the entire way. I love you, my friends. I hope you have an amazing one, and I'll talk to you next time. Thanks so much for joining us this week on Own Your Best Life. Make sure to subscribe to the show on iTunes or wherever you listen to podcasts so that you'll never miss a show. And while you're at it, can you please rate and review on iTunes? I would so appreciate it. Share it with a friend, take a screenshot of it, and tag @MayEmson. This helps continue to get the word out. For more show notes and resources, check out www.mayemson.com. You'll have all the links to everything you heard here today. Thanks so much for listening. It's time to own your best life.